Hello friends, this is Cold Run. Welcome back to a blind playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker's 6.3 expansion patch. And yeah, we're at some Selenite Void Sense. This is, again, something that I remember generally, but if I were quizzed on the specifics of what the prior quest was, I would not get the answer correct. Selenite Void Sense, would you tell us of your recent ventures when next you return? I promise to make it worth your while. Okay, Radiant Scout. Shadowed past once more for the Somewhere in the World orchestration role. The Radiant Scout is keeping a close eye on the Selenite Void Scent. Ah, if it isn't Mistress Kukushu. Since last we spoke, I've continued keeping an eye on the Void Scent. While the creatures have given me no reason to believe they pose a danger, the rest of them remain at large. So right, we went like on a scavenger hunt for the eyes around town, just kind of observing things. My fellows and I have yet to come by any eyewitness information, but their forms being what they are, they cannot have gotten far. Of course, it would make our search easier if they were likewise drawn to Razatan. Boop, boop, boop. My other selves have been telling me about their adventures. Truly, your world is a fascinating place. There's nothing like exploring a new city, or your world is fascinating too. You know what? Your world is fascinating too. The 13th is quite something. It's quite a pretty hellscape. So you've enjoyed hearing my tales? I would be glad to share more with you. Once I've found the rest of me, that is. The others have more knowledge of mighty Void Scent, you see. Right, this was the quest that gave us the background on the different fiends, isn't it? The sensation. What could it be? Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yes, I feel them. The rest of myself. They're very close now. Still wearing my little Valentine's Day suit. There's 4 of them, and unless I'm mistaken, they're somewhere in the city. Please find them for me, that I might be whole again. As before, by way of payment, they will tell you about powerful Void Scent and their pasts. Excellent. More background here. Now the nearest appears to be this way. Perhaps that's a good place to start. I like them just blooping along there. The rest of its fellows have appeared in the city. You'd best track them down. Judging by the direction, I expect the nearest one is in Dharma. I leave the creatures in your capable hands. The others have sights of their own they've seen. The others will have seen some sights on their own. You have an eye pun? I will see to it that these ones do not wander off. I'm sure you will see to it. We got a Wayward Eye observing the High Crucible of Alchemia, which is quite a sight to take in. Wayward Hecteye. What? I'm calling me, you say? I can appreciate my separation anxiety, but I answer to no one, not even myself. The challenge of arguing when fighting oneself. I am my own master. I do what I like, when I like. I will rejoin the others at my own leisurely pace. Mortals, on the other hand, always seem to be busy at work. Short as your lives are, one would think you'd spend more time on leisure. Fair point. You're truly strange creatures. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. Bloop. Experimenting alchemist. Still burning strong, just like the start of the experiment. By the sisters, but tending the flame is mind-numbing work. Someone has to do it, I suppose. I just wish it weren't me. Tending the flame, that reminds me of a Void Scent I once knew. Ah, we got Rubicante background here. He watched over a beacon fire, seeing to it that it remained ever lit. Unlike the mortal, however, he did it of his own volition. Such an act served no practical purpose in our world. Even if night and day existed, we Void Scent don't rely upon light, yet he persisted. Why did he... I feel like I might have missed something. Watched over a beacon fire that remained ever lit, so it wasn't out of requirement here, it was just habit. Or inertia, or ritual. Though perplexed by his curious ritual, I don't know, I'm giving this guy like a 1920s announcer voice. I somehow found myself helping him with it. Rubicante was his name, and he went about his task dutifully. Others mocked him for his meaningless act. He does seem one bound by duty, and look at all the Ahriman laughing at him. But it must have been held some meaning to him. So when I chanced to find the beacon guttered out, I made certain to let him know. Oh, you're a good guy. Or blob, think. For time out of mind, this routine continued uninterrupted until that fateful day. This is the day when Golbez offered him the chance. Yeah. Offered him a little dragon snack. Night in black. I see flames dancing in the distance. Who should I find tending it but a mage of considerable might? With such power, surely you can do more than keep a beacon lit. My flames serve not to smite others, nor to sate my hunger. Then what purpose do they serve? I cannot say for certain, but to simply behold this flame somehow sets my heart at ease. Are we going to get background on why, when Rubicante exposed his heart during the trial, there was, like, a bunch of burned corpses? That were kind of hidden there, that he saw? I see. 'Twould seem you lack the power to comprehend the feelings engraved upon your soul. But such a lack is readily rectified. Golbez Psychotherapist is a show I would watch plenty of. I have a feeling this isn't going to be a pleasant memory. This warmth and maybe it will be. This warmth invigorating and comforting. Where have I felt it before? Of course, the sun, that which once shone its light upon creation. Though it would set, never did it fail to rise again, and like the sun, my flames must never die. That's a legitimate surprise. So that is the way of it. Through your flames you sought to recreate the sun's journey. Recreate the world as it was before. That is incredibly wholesome. Who are you who could unearth the deep... Wait, what was that? Did I miss something? No, I don't think I did. Who are you who could unearth memories, buried memories, one might say, in the deepest recesses of my heart? It matters not who I am, but what I seek to do. Join me, and together we shall banish the darkness, and see that the sun also rises again. According to the mysterious... Oh, the Hecteye is just in the bottom left. I see him now. See them now. According to the mysterious night, the price to save the world was dear. The inhabitants of the neighboring reality must be sacrificed. To which Rubicante replied, I have sworn to use my power to save the world. If innocent souls must be consumed by the flames, then I shall bear responsibility for the sin. So maybe the soul, the burning corpses that he saw was... that were in his heart was like what he feared he would have to do, or the plan that he was on his way towards enacting. Like if the invasion went through, that was what he feared, but it wasn't an act he committed. And thus did he choose his path of his own volition, and his spirit lives on in me as an undying flame in you. What do you mean it lives on in you? A world engulfed in darkness has become the norm for me, but since coming here and basking in the sun, I've been reminded of all that we had lost. I guess it means just I thought it meant something... I thought he was leading to something more practical, like the idea that maybe... like he was there when we defeated Rubicante and he sucked his soul up or whatever, but... No, you're just saying that you took that memory he had and has been trying to keep it up. Trying to keep that memory alive. Since coming here and basking in the sun, I've been reminded of all that we had lost. I understand Rubicante better now. Understand why he was willing to sacrifice all to restore the world to the way it was. To him, it was worth the price. Well, I must say, it felt great to take a squirm down memory lane. With that, I shall now rejoin the others. Of my own volition, of course. Gosh, Mom, leave me alone. Come on, come in my own good time. What's that? Oh, that's a... Yeah, okay. Here's the second Wayward Hecteye. The rest of me are here too? What a relief. I was taking in the sights in a nearby village when I realized I'd become separated. I'm glad I decided to follow the clamor and head to the city. There are so many mortals here, and so many beautiful buildings. I really hope that... I don't think they're going to do this, but wouldn't it be neat if the third tribal quest were void sent? Inquisitive son, Father, what is this building? Knowledgeable father. This, my boy, is the resting place of the great Al-Zadal. Centuries ago, he journeyed here from the mainland and helped to end the war between the Matanga tribes, an act which laid the foundation for the nation of Radzatan. So it's thanks to him that we all get along. Ah, a tomb. A place for mortals to remember their dead. It calls to mind people from my own past. My mother who died in the Contra Memoria, and the ones who laid her to rest. Long ago, there lived two powerful mages. It was said that none could match their might, yet they nevertheless continued to hone their skills at their training ground atop a peak called Mount Ordeals. So Rubicante was one of them. Who was the other? Is it just like Edge or something? I'm trying to think of what characters were super tied to Rubicante in Final Fantasy IV. Edge is really the only one that jumps to mind. But Edge, they wouldn't make Edge a mage. One day, fell fiends began attacking villages. Are they dapping? Unprovoked. Upon hearing the grim tidings, the mages came to a resolution. Through years of training, we have mastered our flames. It is time for us to employ them in the salvation of the world. So it was that the pair descended the mountain and set about vanquishing the fiends. No tank, two mages. Solemn fire mage, just that one left. Brother mage, leave it to me. Frightened girl, no, don't! Oh, that void sent was, yep. Please don't hurt her, please don't hurt my mother. Was this someone we've seen before? If so, I've forgotten. I don't know if this is just a new character, the girl. Your mother? Ah. Please save her, I beg you. What do I do? I'm sorry, Rubicante. There's really not much you can do. The daughter's about to get wrecked. It seems I have no choice. Crystallized her. Not something. What? She's turned into a crystal. Yeah. I mean, it's like when a pet, passes away and they come back in a little urn. It's like that, but it's instant. But I guess this is because the mom. I guess no, the mom's energy is still in there. Presumably to rise again and again. I said that I would save the world, but I couldn't even save even a single life. Why am I getting Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood flashbacks from that line? I don't remember, but it's ringing a bell. Like a strong bell. My flames were meant to be like the sun. They were meant to protect, to keep warm and light the way, and yet... You did the best you could in this case. There are a few MMOs or games in general where fire is used in a healing way, but it's pretty rare. Like, Rift had a particular... The MMO Rift had a particular job or soul, they were called. Oh, what the hell was it called? I don't remember. It was all about... It was a fire... Was it Purifier? It might have been... Maybe it was a Purifier, or... I think it was Purifier, which was all based on, like, using fire to cauterize and heal. Even World of Warcraft does some of that with the Red Dragon Flight, but not Rubicante. In his great fury at his failings, the mage's root face turned red as a ruby. Thus did the girl choose to call him Rubicante. Are you the girl? No. You're not. How do you know all this? The mage returned to his mountain where he buried his comrade. Upon the gravestone he etched words of admonishment and continued his training alone. Who was buried on the Final Fantasy IV mountain, on Mountain Ordeals? It was Cluya, right? That was where it was Cluya's tomb? Was that the brother? Rubicante and Cluya? I don't know. One day, when visiting his comrade's grave, he found a familiar crystal had been left there. Its presence lifted a great weight off his chest. Without words, it told him that the girl was grateful for what he did. Is the Hecteye the girl? That day, he regained something he had lost, and descending the mountain once more, he embarked upon a journey, determined to use his powers for good. But if he's the girl, if the this particular Wayward Hecteye piece is the girl, how would he know all this that followed? Like, how would he know what Rubicante did afterwards? Just a story? As sad as it is to lose a precious life, it's sadder still, I think, to lose one's purpose. Mount Ordeals has been swallowed up by darkness, and his comrade's grave with it, but wherever Rubicante may be, I like to believe that the little girl still remains in his heart. I'm 99% sure that this is the little girl, then. While it's past time, I rejoined the others, but it was nice talking to you, mortal. I just don't know how it knew all the other stuff that happened when the little girl was not around. Unless it was just extrapolations, but I don't think it was. I don't know. Wayward Hecteye. What business does a mortal have with me? So the rest of me are safe? Oh, thank goodness. It was worth risking myself to let the others escape. No sooner had we arrived in this world than we were attacked by fearsome creatures of stone. I drew their attention, and after scrambling hither and yon, I managed to get myself to safety. But to so jealously guard treasure, you mortals must be truly fond of it. Lo, there's another place for storing it right there. Stone creatures that were chasing you. Are you talking about... Did you see, like, big elephants coming at you and you thought they were stone because they're gray? Like, you thought they were gargoyles? Or is there a stone creature? I'm sure there's stone creatures I'm forgetting. Shirazad. They say it's a mountain after mountain of treasure in there. We just need to find the coffers that act as portals. I have not been, I have not done that. I have not done this particular quest thing. And then survive the guardians and deadly fiends. Oh, it's probably the guardians, that the golems like that are in those treasure areas. Gotcha. Not the elephants. I don't like our chances with just the 3 of us. Yeah, don't you need like a full party to have a real chance at full clearing, even if you get lucky with all the portals? Like eight people? Less of us means a bigger share for each. Exactly. Besides, what's an adventure without a little danger? I'm not really sure about this. Wayward Hecteye. Willingly throw oneself into danger is truly a strange mortal quirk. Unlike your kind, we Voidsent are quite risk-averse. For instance, we wouldn't think to challenge a stronger being. It's interesting. There's... The design of the 13th and the Voidsent is, like, when you think about MMO design, if the penalties for death are too harsh, like in the game like EverQuest, where you'd die and if you weren't resurrected, you'd lose, like, hours worth of grinding, at least back in the day, back in the, early 2000s, 1999. And it made you super risk-averse. But games where there's no penalty for dying, where you just keep resurrecting and there's no problem, it makes you just... It takes away some of the meaning of stuff, but it also makes you willing to experiment and explore. And for the Voidsent, it's a little bit of each. Even it does lean much more heavily towards the risk-averse, but they do kind of live forever. It's just, I guess, it's almost even... There's almost even more risk then. Because you'd spend forever, like, as trapped in someone else. Except for him, perhaps. An odd fellow who loved fighting for its own sake. Is this Golbez? Golbez doesn't strike me as a fighting for its own sake kind of guy. Ah, Cagnazzo. Okay, yep, never mind. That's it. I forgot that was the same patch, almost. His name was Cagnazzo, and there was nothing he feared in his domain. Employing deception, he trapped his foes and drowned them in a bottomless mire. It mattered not how strong they were, all fell before him. Yet despite his victories, he never truly felt satisfied. And through a chance meeting, he would learn the reason why. I guess the Hecteye was more likely not the girl, but someone who observed that interaction the way this Hecteye is. I might have just missed them in the scene. Yeah, your trap failed. This is the Humbaba model, isn't it? Cagnazzo. But you should repel my attack. You're tougher than I expected. To whom do I speak? I am Cagnazzo, and I'll bet you're the one they say is seeking out the strong. Well, if it's battle you want, then look, you need look no further. Yeah, this did strike me as a Cagnazzo thing. Lest you misunderstand, I do not desire fruitless battle. On the contrary, it would seem it is you who seek out the strong. Why? When you're hungry, you devour. It doesn't matter who. Your luck ran out when you strolled into my domain. Yeah, I don't think this is a winning battle for you, Cagnazzo. None would so risk themselves simply because of an empty stomach. Nay, my friend. The source of your hunger lies elsewhere. Yeah, it's Golbez therapy time. Boop. Were you like a brigand, like a bandit? What is this? Ether so pure and sublime. So much of it am ripe to burst, and yet... I still don't feel satisfied. You see, it is not for ether that you thirst, but battle. You'll not quench that thirst with stagnant swamp water. Try Gatorade, new brand. Nay, naught save that of a raging torrent will sate you. What do you mean? I guess it really is just all about battle. There is no joy to be had in ensnaring your quarry. For victory to have savor, you must place yourself in the midst of danger. Again, this leans into that whole, like, risk aversion thing and how Cagnazzo is... I mean, that's why he's bringing this up. If you join me, I shall see to it you never want for dread foes to grant you satisfaction. What say you? Why do I feel as though I've remembered something important? Whoever you are, I would know more. And thus did he find a place to belong, upon the fine line that divides the devourer and the devoured. If he could do battle with just one worthy foe, he told himself, he could go to his rest forever satisfied. So, losing in a trial against me and my 7 buddies is really Cagnazzo's favorite way to die. From that day forth, Cagnazzo tirelessly sought out those who might be able to best him, each time hoping for bliss, but knowing that, like as not, all disappointment ultimately awaited. A yearning so strong nothing else matters. Do you have such a thing driving you too, mortal? Not really. I mean, in real life, not really. I'm pretty happy with things, and I like my work, and I enjoy food and friends. I don't have a specific driving passion. Looking back, it was extremely reckless of me to come to this world, but it has been worth every bit of danger and more. I can't wait to share my experiences with myself. I'll be on my way now. Thanks for coming to find me. Bloop, 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 bloop. And so the next one's got to be Cagnazzo backstory, right? You've been looking for me, you say. Sorry for the trouble. Found a place with beautiful water and thought I'd have a rollick, but ended up being washed away. I tried to get back upstream, swimming against the flow, and had managed to come this far when you appeared. After all that effort, I'd like nothing more than to reunite with my other selves, but if you've been promised a tale, then you shall have one. Yeah, this has got to be, I mean, especially if you got washed away by water. Like, speaking of getting washed away, I got washed away by a young fisherman named Cagnazzo. Morose fisherman. Nothing but small fry. Wasn't Cagnazzo called the Drowned King? See that mortal there? He fished me up, but promptly released me while calling me a hideous slug. Rude. I don't know what that was about, but it worked out well enough. Oh, to be out in the open sea and catch something big. But until I can afford a halfway decent rod, I'll just have to put up with this tired old fishing hole. Ugh. I know the feeling well, the desire to chase after big fish. I used to be a fisherman too, you see, together with my brother. But the Contra Memoria wreaked havoc on the ocean's ether, and nary any fish remained to be caught. Each morning we would wake up not knowing whether we'd have food to fill our bellies. On a day like so many before, we were waiting in vain for a bite. My brother's face was fixed in a grimace, and I assumed he was cursing the war in his mind, but it turned out he was thinking about something else altogether. When he finally spoke, the frustration was plain in his voice. Even if there were fish to catch, this is how I'm going to live out my days. Look at that. Look at Rogaden and Cagnazzo, or whatever their version of it is, of Rogaden is. Sitting endlessly with a pole in hand, it's like dying a slow death, and I can't take it anymore. More so than our privation, it was the mundane, unchanging nature of our lives that bothered him. In the next instant, he blurted out, "That's it. If there's a war, I'm gonna fight too. That way I won't be bored, at least." That is a challenging... Oh, man. There's probably a lot of people who have died over the years like that, with that mentality. And just like that, he threw aside his rod and set off, right into the thick of the conflict. I mean, I guess it wasn't... I keep thinking back, was it a Hecteye? No, it had to be the little girl, because the Hecteyes didn't come into existence until, like, later. No, there were Void Scent there. I don't know. Memoriative Darkness. Damn it! Memoriative Light. It's over! just punched him in his full-on helmet. Who the hells are you? Pugilist by the looks of it. Scrapping for the dark. Or just for fun, really. Whoever you are, I'm in your debt. Having exhausted my powers, I was all but defeated, but now none remain to oppose me here. Perhaps you'd consider serving me. You'll be well rewarded, of course. I could grant you riches, castles. I have a feeling, Memoriate of Darkness, that your lifespan is very short right now. What's the meaning of this? Weren't you a friend? A friend? I'm just after some excitement, so come on, give it to me. I mean, yeah, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? You punched him in the spear tip. And yet it worked out. I mean, somehow you ended in a draw. That's major kudos for Cagnazzo for even managing that. There you are, thank heavens! What were you thinking, taking on Memoriates with your bare fists? However strong you may be, you're lucky to be alive. I do not think the Hungry Fisherman sees it that way. This is a death wish if ever I've seen one. Alive. Yes, I've never felt so alive. Yeah, I guess he is. If he finally, it does have, it's finally a life wish. He found his purpose. Where are you going? To punch some more dudes. No more chasing small fry from me. From now on, I'm going to live for the thrill of battle. I'll seek out those stronger than me, and I'll give them all a taste of my fist. He's not... Gosh, there's... He's like a less goofy version of Gilgamesh in some ways, isn't he? They'd get along swimmingly. Never have I felt so alive as I did, risking life and limb, he said, as he strode away, never to return. Sometime afterwards, a rumor reached me of a fearsome warrior. The man would arrive unannounced on a battlefield, trounce anyone and everyone indiscriminately before disappearing again. A true pioneer of the battle royale genre. Cagnazzo, he was called, and cursed for a feral dog. That was enough for me to know my brother was still lived. It was only when I became a void synth that I came to understand my brother, to understand the emptiness he felt in his mundane life. It inspired me to want to break free from my own unchanging existence and instilled in me a longing for this world. I like that he didn't take away the lesson of I want to follow my brother by punching. He took it away, the lesson if I want to follow my brother by pushing my limits and breaking out of that mundanity. And for all his quirks, he was a good and kind brother, always looking out for me and helping me with my fishing. Like everyone, he must have turned to void scent. If he had the chance to come here, I believe he would have found a purpose in life. A proper one. Maybe. I don't know that what was ailing him would be cured by the source in the same way that a lot of people's troubles were cured by this are potentially cured by the source. It wasn't an issue of starvation. It seemed like more than anyone, Cagnazzo seemed like the one. It was just his nature. I think if he were here, he would be leading a. Maybe he might have had to turn to like fighting in the Pugilist Guild or something, but he might have just been a roving bandit. Thanks to you, I could relive those old memories. And with that, I'd best go join my other selves. Be seeing you. Goodbye, brother. Not my brother, but a brother. Someone's brother. Cagnazzo's brother. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You did it! You found all of me! I trust I upheld my part of the bargain and told you about more mighty void scent. You did. You did indeed. I learned about the past of Cagnazzo and Rubicante. This void scent fought fiercely, but they'll fight no more. And I like the first option. It's less like mwahaha. It's less I've defeated them. So you'd already crossed paths with them. Though the tales may not help you in the battles ahead, I dare say they gave you something to think upon. They did. I like these quests quite a lot. As mortals, then void-sent, then archfiends, these troubled souls fought with all their being, and now their fight is over. Yeah, even none of them have been really awful. None of them have been like irredeemable, awful people. Cagnazzo's probably as close as it got, but he wasn't bad. He was just combat hungry. He was combat sexual, as people say about Xenos. He didn't. It wasn't. I mean, Xenos had pretty. Xenos was combat. It was with combat sexual for Xenos meant more than he likes combat. Like, so I take that back. But yeah, he was hungry for combat. Well, I myself have only heard tales from the others. If I'm to make their feelings my own, I need to become whole again, which I can now do thanks to you. So that's all of them accounted for. Then by all means, let's have them return to the way they were. I guess that makes sense. I was thinking, is this going to continue in 6.5? But no, we've dealt with the 4 fiends. Unless there's one for Cagnazzo or for Golbez and... Who was that? The person I think is Cecil. Like that statue in Zero's town. Without further ado then, to me, myselves. Yep, just pile up. Bloop, 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 bloop. There you are. Oh, shake, shake, shake. I didn't know I needed a sullen-eyed Hecteye or non-eye. I didn't know I needed one of these things jumping in joy until now. At last we're whole again. There's nothing we need fear. And that which each of us experienced since coming here, it's as if I had experienced it all for myself. I say it again, but this world is truly a fascinating place. I must see more of it. Yes, I must. Yeah, go for it. Just, I'm worried that I'm not sure what I was expecting, but now that it's whole, I can't help but feel that it's more of a danger. I'm worried that it's in danger. Because, like, any passing adventurer will just attack you. Yeah, with the undersea portal destroyed, there's no way to return it whence it came. Whatever should we do now? No, it's just a sentient being. With no malicious intent, that I can see at least. What's this I see? Oh, it's void scent. There's a few of them in that direction. More of my brethren made it over here, it seems. Curious, though. This is much farther than I can usually perceive. 9 eyes are better than 1, I guess. I can only assume my vision is improved. Could this be the cumulative effect of our experiences here? That would make sense. It doesn't really make sense, but I can see it making sense, and I could see it. What? It can sense its kind from a vast distance. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Uh-oh. Amazing. Such an ability would make the task of tracking down invading voids into breeze. No, don't use it like that. If the creature would agree to assist us in this matter, I'm confident that I can convince my superiors to forge a pact with it. I don't think it wants a pact. Does it? I didn't think this was the good ending. I thought it was going to go join, like, its brethren and, like, start a town of void scent. But maybe not. Maybe you'll agree to hunt down invaders. I don't know. Oh, if it means I can remain in the world, then I'll gladly agree to that arrangement. I didn't think they'd go that way. I can't say how much I'm indebted to you, mortal. Working with this fellow here, I'll find a way to communicate with your kind and make myself useful. Thank you for everything. Oh, that's right, because it can't communicate with non-echoers. Jump, jump, jump. I mean, I guess the other... Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's still not the... Having it as a bloodhound is not the ending I expected for this. I'll be on my best behavior until I've forged a pact. Nothing short of a dream to become true to be in this world, and I'll do whatever is required to remain. Somewhere in the world, ambitions writhe. Just the ominous zoom in, slow zoom in on Tataru's menacing face with this music as the perfect soundtrack. Look at that villain. What menace hides there. Anyway, that's going to be it from me for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you in the next time where I finally will hope to do the Alliance raid, but I don't know, I've been enjoying just this little side quest until now, so yeah, I think I actually will do the Alliance raid no matter what next time. I promise. This is an actual promise. Alright, bye-bye.